All right, let's talk about the discounts that Disney announced. So I think there's two. One of them is very interesting. I think it does tell you where their worry may be this summer. But I think the one that's probably the biggest headliner one is this first one here.
Yeah, so you can get 50% off kids tickets if you buy a 3-day or longer kids standard ticket. And this deal is available for visits beginning May 27th through September 20th. So that's a big savings right there. Half off.
50% off for kids.
Yeah.
Again, it has to be a 3-day ticket package or longer. But they a lot of times tout that Disneyland kid ticket that they have out there. I think it's like $70.
Yeah, they don't do that all the time.
Not all the time, but you'll hear them a lot of times tout that. So I think this is kind of trying to match that. But
yeah,
I mean, that is probably I don't know if they would go above a 50% discount other than in the past they have done a buy a day, get a day free type of thing. But this is one of the more massive discounts that I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, and the next one too is a 3-day 3-park ticket that starts at $89 per day. So $267 total plus tax for visits starting April 6th through September 22nd. And this is for admission to Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. This does not include Magic Kingdom. So you could get 50% off of your 3-day or longer ticket, which would save you, a lot of money. But this one, the $89 per day, would save you maybe even more, but you would exclude Magic Kingdom, which I feel like most kids want to do Magic Kingdom. But then again, I guess it depends on the kid.
Well, so the kid ticket package doesn't exclude that. So the kids tickets will get you into Magic Kingdom.
Right.
But this 3-day ticket package.
Oh, it's for adults too. Oh, I missed that.
Would
okay.
not.
So this is for anybody.
This is for anybody.
It.
But I think this is very telling of where Disney's worry is this summer is I've often said this. It's the fact that people may still be coming to Disney that go to Epic Universe and Universal, but they may not be going for as long. So I think what you're looking at is Magic Kingdom, I don't think is going to have an attendance hit. So clearly they're not worried about Magic Kingdom, but they seem to be worried a little bit about Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. So they're trying to offer deals to get people to go to those parks.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty telling how they've set that up. But the kids package, that is for any of the parks, but this one specifically is not. And it is roughly, depending on the day, I mean, you're talking 40% or more off.
Yeah.
On some of those days there.
Yeah. I mean, it's what the trend, and we have talked about this before on the show, but the trend is now heading toward summer being less busy than a lot of the rest of the year.
It's very true.
So, I mean, it's hot.
At least historically, it could change with, maybe the crowds come in for Epic Universe and things like this year could be different, but ever since COVID, you're right, it has changed the way in which the busy times are.
Yep. There's also free dining returning. So it says backed by popular demand, you can get a free dining plan with the purchase of a non-discounted 4-night, 4-day or longer package that includes a room at select Disney Resort hotels and a ticket with park hopper option. This is offered for visits on select days from June 29th through December 22nd.
I mean, they pull out free dining when they need people into the parks.
Well, and they announced a deal also for Disney Visa card holders, kind of the similar deal, but the dates are different. But yeah, the fact that they're offering free dining at all, it just, they tend to do that whenever they're wanting the crowds to come in, which, okay.
Yeah.
If this works for you, like if you're the person that's like, yes, give me free dining, I look for it every year, I want free dining, then this is the way to go. Just remember that this doesn't really save you money. Maybe a tiny bit depending. Let's say you have like 5 people in your room. Okay, it may save you money. But if you're in a room and there's only 2 of you and you're staying, I think you have to stay at least 4 nights. So staying 4 nights, it may not save you more money. It may end up wasting food.
It all depends. It all depends on how. Yeah, if you tend to eat a lot. Yeah. It also there is a convenience factor if you don't necessarily have to worry about extra money. It's kind of more of a
right.
You just buy a package that includes it, like on a cruise line, and it's just one less thing to worry about. I think that's a selling point for a lot of people.
Yep.
All right. Well, I got a question for you real quick. We'll talk about the last one here. Is they have a Disney Resort room deals. Save up to 30% on select Disney Resort hotel rooms when you stay longer for visits beginning April 1st through October 11th. And the special deals on rooms are also available for Florida residents and annual pass holders. So
August 1st through October 11th.
Yes. So they kind of staggered them a bit. So looking
Yes.
at this, I mean, we kind of known the plan this summer for Disney was shows and parades, which I guess the other one is that the parade is not going to be ready to go.
They said summer.
They said summer.
They've said summer the whole time.
Yeah, they said summer, but it's not going to be ready for Memorial Day, which is typically the kickoff for a lot of this stuff. So that's later in the summer sometime, undisclosed. They didn't say when it was going to open. Looking at this, do you think, I guess, what's your opinion on how Disney will fare this summer with how things are looking in general, obviously with Epic Universe opening, and then with these discounts on top of it, how do you think this is going to boost attendance? How do you think this is going to go? Do you think this is enough to really get people that are on the fence to come over?
Well, this is kind of anecdotal because it's just from what we're hearing from other people or, from social media or whatever. There's a lot of people that waited to take vacations to Universal or Disney this past year because they were waiting for Epic Universe. So I can see a lot of people maybe going this summer and wanting to visit both Disney and Universal to see Epic. So I think maybe, they're still going to go to Disney, but just maybe not as long.
Yeah.
Take a day out or 2 days even to go visit Universal, whereas maybe they wouldn't have done that before. I can see that may be happening.
I think obviously it's happening on some level, as I think obviously Universal is pushing that with their packages, trying to get people to stay longer. And I think if you look at the way these are set up, obviously Disney is trying to entice people to stay 3 nights or longer, offering pretty significant discounts to do it. And honestly, they wouldn't be offering these deals if they were looking at bookings and they were happy with how they were looking. I mean, if you just read between it, I just don't think they would be offering this much of discounts if they were just like, we're fully booked up through the end of the year. Obviously, I think they see something that they don't like, which it could be. And again, I've said before, it's not that people won't be going to Disney, but they made it, like you said, not going as long, maybe only going 1 to 2 days.
Yeah.
And so by doing the ticket packages this way, incentivizing 50% off for kids and all these, you could, get people to add, peel off a day or so, add an extra thing. And so if you're on the fence, if you're going, you're like, well, let's, we can add Disney 50% off for the kids. Okay, we can make that work. And I think that may be the strategy here, which if you don't have any new attractions to offer, I mean, you got shows and parades, whatever appeal that has to people. I can't speak to how that appeals to people that, I know the Disney crowd is all for those things. I don't know how that appeals to just the general public. But if they're on the fence, I think this could be enough to push them to at least, add it onto their trip.
Yeah.
And then maybe the thinking here with that.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, whether it'll work, it'll be really interesting to see the first financial earnings after May, like how they report their earnings and how they look. And like I said, I don't think Magic Kingdom's going to get hit. I think Animal Kingdom more than likely is going to continue to have its issues, and I think they're going to try and flush those out. Plus, you add in how they've done with the AP down payment rates, slashing those. I think they're really going to try and bump up the pass holder base, offer lots of Florida resident discounts. So whatever they may feel like they're losing to Epic Universe or whatever, they can try and make up that difference with the locals and APs. I think that's probably their plan going forward.
Yeah.
And then see how it's looking. It'll be really interesting to see how it's looking to the fourth quarter, because typically that's very, very busy. So if there's still a lot of discounts coming into the fourth quarter, that would be another indication that they're not liking the way the bookings are looking. But
I guess we'll wait and see on that one.
yeah, I was surprised to see 50% off. I had wondered all along, would they hit a point of something offering 50% off and the kids' tickets? I think that one will be one that will probably get the most attention.